Hey guys, it's Hannah here, and this is part 2 of the products I purchased, reviewing the products I purchased in the first half of 2021. That is a really long title. I don't know if that's actually what it's going to be. I filmed this in all one go and then realised that it was going to be too long a video, so I'm going to need to split it into 2 parts. So here is the second part. I don't know if I've split it evenly, but here we go. This is my USA makeup haul, which went live on March 10th. Why did I go through box charm first? Anyway, so I was in America for 3.5 weeks and I bought a lot of makeup. I bought a lot of other things as well. Let's start with the Bumble and Bumble. It came with a mini powder spray and a mini dry spun texture spray. Again, I haven't used the dry spun texture spray because I just haven't had a need to use it. I haven't had events where I've done anything to my hair. I really like the original Pret A powder, the loose powder. I really like it. The Pret A powder spray is really good. It's in my travel bag for when not that I ever travel. But yeah, it is in my travel bag. It's just a nice little mini and I really like it. Next is the Matte Christmas palette. It was a 6-pan palette that had one beautiful sparkly shade that got me and hooked me, but I just didn't use the palette, so I did end up decluttering it. It looked gorgeous, but I didn't use it. That sparkly shade got me, but it just wasn't something I was using. What I do still use is my MAC Semi-Sweet ×9. I use this today. This is a really great little small matte palette. It's very, where is this? So this is the Vizier Neutral Matte palette. And there is honestly enough difference in these that I feel like I need both. Don't ask me why I think that, because there's definitely this is definitely these mattes down here definitely go more orange, whereas this is definitely, I think it's soft brown. Is it soft brown? Bamboo. Bamboo is just much more neutral, whereas these go very warm. This one doesn't have a mustard. This one doesn't have a burgundy. Like the 2 mattes in the middle I could probably dupe in them. Yeah, and then the grey, but not the dark grey. So, because I need 2 matte palettes and then I've gone and bought another mini matte palette. But I really like this palette, even though I have the Vizier Neutral Mattes, and that's why I got rid of the Tarte Clay Play because I prefer the Neutral Mattes formula. I also had this and I like this and I just think this is really nice. Other thing from MAC that I love and still use all the time is the Postmodernist Peach Extra Dimension Skin Finish. This was from the collection that was out at that time. I just really like it. It's a gorgeous peachy highlighter. It's fantastic. The Glossier Powder. Where is it? This is a really nice powder if you don't need a lot of oil control. So I liked this in autumn and winter. I really like the mechanism. You can get a good amount of powder out. I liked it. It's just not mattifying. So if you are oily and you need oil control, you're not going to get it from this. But if you want a really beautiful, finely milled powder to set, this is lovely. You cannot get Glossier in Australia. Makes me sad, but it is what it is. Then we have the Glossier Boy Brow, which I just finished and just went into my empties because it finally has turned, which is what usually happens with me with brow mascaras and normal mascara. They turn before I use them up. But this was really nice. This reminded me of the original Benefit Gimme Brow before they updated it and took out the fibers because stupid people used it as mascara. No, that was the milk that I just finished. The milk reminded me of the, yeah, I've written here. I prefer the milk to the Glossier Boy Brow. The Glossier Boy Brow is more like the new Benefit Gimme Brow. That's just the tint. Whereas the Milk had the fibers like the original Gimme Brow. Yes, now I remember what my words were saying. So the Milk had the fibers, so I felt like it gave me a fuller look. Whereas the Boy Brow was much more just a tinted brow gel, which is fine. It definitely was more than like the Anastasia tinted brow gel. Not the pomade, but a traditional Anastasia tinted brow gel. It's more than that, but less than the original Gimme Brow. Definitely much similar to the new Gimme Brow Plus, which I don't love as much as the original. So, didn't miss that. And then the Glossier Milky Jelly Cleanser I actually gave to Mum because it was too gentle on my skin. Even in winter, it just wasn't enough for my skin. So if you're very dry or very sensitive, maybe try that, but it just wasn't enough for me. Next, we had the Natasha Denona Transfer Matte Foundation. Now, I bought this at half price. It's been discontinued, I'm pretty sure. But I did declutter it. It was an on-the-whim purchase that I really didn't need. I bought the wrong colour. It was just a mess. The Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Skin Powder. This stuff is gorgeous. I do need a different colour though. So I have the shade R10. I want the shade Y. R210. I think I want the shade Y15 or Y25, but I can't go in and swatch them. I really like this powder. This is beautiful on the skin. I've used it both as a powder foundation and as a setting powder. Like it both ways. This is gorgeous. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. I need a new colour if I want to use it as a powder foundation though. Next, what I ended up putting over the lipstick I was wearing when I had to stop and come back. The Sephora Melting Lip Click in Caramel. I bought this because of Jessica Braun and the Taylor, who's now Taylor Wynn. And they don't make this anymore and that's so sad, but I really love this. And this is what started my obsession with glossy, shiny lipstick in this kind of clicky packaging or like twist up the thin packaging that's really close because it melts and love it. Well, no. I already had my Marc Jacobs, which I loved. This started the love affair that made me buy a million. I already had my Marc Jacobs one, which I loved, but I thought that it was just a one-off thing. This started the love affair that made me need to try everything. I love it. And I'm really sad you cannot get that anymore. The Jouer Essential High Coverage Concealer. This thing is gorgeous. I really like this stuff. It is definitely a full coverage concealer, but it is beautiful. You don't need a lot. I prefer this over Shape Tape. It doesn't look dry and cakey. This is just really beautiful. I really enjoy this a lot. A lot, a lot, a lot. Smashbox Glider Highlighter. I still don't know how this was in stock at the not corporate store. It's not called corporate store. The, what are they called? Outlet. At the outlet. I don't think I will ever let this go. Because I wanted it for so long. And even though it's very similar to Postmodernist Peaks, it's different enough that I still love it and use it. And it's baked gelée and it's beautiful. Love. The Marc Jacobs Showstopper highlighter, however, was a glittery mess. This is something I'd gotten on discount, like the after Christmas sale. And it just had lots of chunky glitter in it. It was the biggest pen of highlighter you'll ever see. It's the same size as their bronzer. It was just chunky and gross and no. The Clinique Cheek Pop Palette I also bought on a discount at this after sale thing. Just because it's on a discount doesn't mean you need it. I think that if that is not the rule of this. The Cheek Pop Palette, I only liked one shade in there, and it's a shade that I have in every other blush formula. So I just didn't reach for it. I didn't reach for the purple, I didn't reach for the soft pink, I just reached for the neutral mid-tone pink shade that I have everywhere. So I decluttered that. Violet Voss Holy Grail Mini Palette. I very recently decluttered this because this was one of the products that when I was making this list, I didn't know how I felt about it. And basically, it just faded really quickly on my eyes. It applied fine. It was fine. But it faded super quickly, and it's not something that was unique to my collection that I was like, I'm going to go through the effort of putting on a coloured base underneath this so that it doesn't fade and all that stuff. And I'm like, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to go through the effort when I have those shades elsewhere in my collection. I didn't need it. That's not what I wanted in the first place. What I wanted in the first place was the original Holy Grail palette. But yeah, just wasn't for me. The KKW Cherry Blossom palette was also something I tried recently to get my full feelings on, and I much preferred this over the Violet Voss. It has the similar burgundy colour story that I could get, and then the Violet Voss also had a warm brown, which I get with the Sassy Siennas. So this was definitely a much preferred formula for me. I do not like how dark this cream goes. This cream is not a cream. It is a transition shade on someone as fair as me. Obviously, Kim Kardashian West has darker skin than me, so that's fine. But if you're looking at this and thinking this is going to be a cream colour that you can set your base with, it's not. That's the only thing that kind of jars me, and these two shades are really similar. But this one is more champagne-y, this one's more coppery. I don't know, it's a really nice, easy palette. The Kylie blush in Close to Perfect. I always was very much someone who said I didn't like peach blush, it didn't suit me. I got Max Warm Soul and I really liked that, but I thought it was just that blush was the only thing that was going to be like that. Peach still wasn't for me. I really like this blush. I like this blush a lot. It is a matte peach and I really like how it sits on my skin. It may just be because it's unique to my collection, but I really like it. Let's talk about my glossy lip obsession. L'Oreal Sparkling Rose. This is the Colorie Shine in a pinky shade. This I need to bust out so much in spring because this is literally the perfect time for that shade. I'm just going to put it in my everyday makeup drawer to try and remember to wear it. I love this formula. I already had the Varnish Rosewood shade, so I picked up another one when I was there. Love it. What I didn't love was the L'Oreal Matte Lip Crayon. It was a dry and crumbly mess. I don't even remember what shade it was. I hoped it would be like the next product, the Maybelline Superstay Ink Crayon, which is fantastic. This is in the shade Lead the Way. This is a really gorgeous matte lip crayon. It goes on smoothly. It's not hydrating, but it's smooth and has enough moisture to it that you can apply it and then it sets down. Whereas the L'Oreal one was dry and crumbly and you couldn't even put it on your lips because it literally just felt like chalk. It's disgusting. The L'Oreal lip line, I don't even know what this is called. This is the ink, L'Oreal ink in I Choose. This is again a second colour for me of this because L'Oreal is super expensive in Australia and I think it was like buy one get one when I got this stuff. This is in the shade I Choose. Again, it's very much a spring shade. So I should also put this in I should be wearing. It's a really nice corally pink shade. Super pretty. Like it a lot. Really love that formula. L'Oreal Sponge. I don't think this is actually the one I bought. I bought two. It's my Holy Grail sponge. I love this sponge. This is the one I bought at the end of last year. I love this sponge. I hate that we can't get it here. It's my Holy Grail sponge. Love it. L'Oreal Lash Paradise. I got the waterproof version, but oh my goodness, it was still so much better than the first time I tried L'Oreal Lash Paradise. It was beautiful and I understood why everyone loved it so much. Big fan. Lash Paradise, American version. Australian version, no. Then we had the... I had a L'Oreal kit because L'Oreal is very expensive here and I wanted to take advantage. This is the Infallible Prolas Longwear Eye Pencil in Burgundy. I have this on today. It's just a, as the name would suggest, a burgundy pencil. It has, however, dried out. And honestly, I have these colours elsewhere. So it is something I will be decluttering from my collection. It's not fantastic. And it dried, yeah, mostly because it dried out so much and it broke off, and that becomes a big issue. And I don't love it that much that I needed it. It's always been a bit meh. What I did like was the Burgundy Matte Liquid Eyeliner, which I didn't finish up, it went bad. That was beautiful. It was a pot style liquid liner in a burgundy colour. It was beautiful. I just didn't use it enough. So I'm glad that I got it at American L'Oreal prices because it was beautiful. I didn't use it enough. The L'Oreal Voluminous Burgundy Mascara I love. I bought 2. I still have 1, which I really should use up. Still in its packaging and sealed and everything. But I really like that mascara on my lower lashes, particularly when I'm using something like this or just a plain neutral look to give it something else. The Maybelline Blushed Avenue palette. I have been umming and ahhing about this palette, what to do with this palette, because it's a nice palette. It is a really nice palette. But I have these shades elsewhere, and am I really going to reach for a Maybelline palette when I have all my other beautiful eyeshadows? I think if you're on a budget, this is a really nice palette. I really like the formula, but I just have it elsewhere and I think I'm going to get rid of it. The Milani Silky Matte Bronzing Powder in No. 1 Sunlight. This stuff is beautiful. It looks like I barely used it because I probably haven't used it enough, but I really like it. It's a great colour. Really like the formula. It blends beautifully. Very nice. The Milani Gilded Nude Eyeshadow Palette. Do not buy this palette for the shimmers. The shimmers in here are really lackluster. They're fine. They're swatching better now than I think I've ever seen them. Actually, they're traditional shimmers, not metallics. And I do just prefer a more metallic eye, and that's fine. But what I do love about this palette is the mattes. And I think that even though it's a colour story, I probably have it elsewhere, I really love the mattes in this palette. And I would pick this up over the Maybelline, even though it's probably way more expensive. But, yeah. Next are 3 things I don't have with me. The first is the Joa Pen Liquid Eyeliner. Oh my goodness, that stuff is amazing. I wish we could get it here. That was the best drugstore felt tip eyeliner I've ever used. Incredible. Then we had the Jolla eye makeup remover. Does the job. It's the same as every other bi-phase eye makeup remover. It's fine. And then the CoverGirl Cream Shadow Stick, which if you watched that video, it was dried out and gone before when I opened it for that video. So there we go. Not something I still have in my collection. And then the last haul for the first half of 2021 was my Isolation Beauty haul, which went live on May 23rd, 2021. So, the first thing there was a Colourpop order where I bought the entire Making Moves, not the entire Making Moves collection, a good chunk of the Making Moves collection. So we had the Making Moves palette, which I love. It has the 2 Super Shocks, which strangely aren't drying out yet. 5 traditional mattes, the matte with the glitter, and then a traditional metallic. I love this palette. If Hannah was a colour, she would be burgundy or mauve. If you can't tell from my eyes. I love this palette. I love this whole collection. Then we have the Coast to Coast blush, which is a gorgeous, you guessed it, mauvey blush. This does lean more on the pinky side of mauve, but that's okay. This is kind of the blush colour I reach for when I don't want to think. It's fantastic. It's beautiful. Like it a lot. And then the 2 Super Shock shadows definitely haven't gotten as much love as they probably should have. So we have Bloomer, which is a mauve. Which is, I think because it just looks so dark in the pan, I forget how beautiful it is when I swatch it. Like even over the top of what I have on now, this would be fantastic. Just as a little bit of sparkle. I might do that. And then we have Day Trippin', which I definitely use more because it is very much one of those topper shades that looks like a topper shade. Which is what I like for my Colourpop. You can't even see. It's like translucent base with the blue, pink, gorgeous sparkle. Gorgeous. I'm going to put Bloomer on my lid over what I have. It's a Milani palette. Beautiful. Beautiful. It's even more high shine than the, oh no, except it's come out of its pen, like the pen fell out of the pen. That's fine. It happens. What I do have on my eyes is the Charlotte Tilbury Mesmerizing Maroon palette. Again, if I was a shade, I would be burgundy or mauve. The real winner shade in this palette is the Pop shade. It is just, it's so pretty. It is not as flashy as some of her other Pop shades, but it is definitely the most high shine. I do have all of these on my lid today with the, on my eyes today with the Semi-Sweet. This is just a very traditional burgundy, thinking kind of matte cranberry shade. So it's not particularly special. It is very much matte cranberry, which is fine because I like that colour. The matte blends really beautifully, and the champagne is just a really nice pink. It is definitely on the deeper side of champagne-y colours, but it's really pretty. Also in that Charlotte Tilbury palette, I got the Film Star Bronze and Glow. I got the cream version of this in a lucky bag that I decluttered, but this powder palette formula is beautiful. This bronzer is perfect for me in winter. I think I can even get away with it in summer, but oh my goodness. And the highlight is just a fantastic soft highlight. It's not super flashy, but it still gives you enough oomph. And then the Charlotte Darling palette. If you want a warm, peachy eye, this is my go-to. It is super easy. It's got the 3 mattes, the 3 shimmers. It definitely, obviously, reach for this over the Mesmerizing Maroon because it's way more go-to day to day. But it's gorgeous. Same fantastic formula. Next is the MAC Nude Model Single Shadow. So I'm pretty sure I did some back-to-MACs and that's why I got this. I really liked this. I need to depot it and put it in my MAC palette. Those are my notes on that. It's nice. Just not something I need in a single shadow. Shiseido Synchro Skin, which is hiding. I like this foundation. I'm currently panning it. I really like it as a winter foundation, a cool weather foundation. It's not right for my skin in summer, but it is beautiful in winter. Anastasia Dip Brow Gel. I love this stuff. This might be dried out. Oh no, still not much longer out of it. This I really like when I have when I don't want a super filled in brow. I have enough shape to it. So when I have my brows fresh, tinted and waxed, I just use the tinted brow gel like the Milk. When they're... Alright, I don't know if I'm in a slightly different angle because my memory card was full, my battery died. Good fun. Anastasia Dip Brow Gel. As I said, I like it when my brows are pretty well shaped, but I don't have a fresh tint. So if I don't get them tinted, or if I just want a little bit of colour to them, but I don't need them particularly shaped, I'll use that. Today I've penciled and tinted gelled, not the dip brow gel. So there's that. I like the product, I really do. The next products are stuff, two things I don't have solid opinions on, and then two things I do. So the Biossance Lactic Acid I got at a Sephora 20% off sale. I think I needed to spend money to keep up my level. And there was a sale and I thought I was running low on acids, but when we get to part 2 of this, when we get to the part 1 of the second half of the year, I've had to break the second half of 2021 into 3 parts. I might even have to split this into 2, I don't know. We'll see how long it is. But yes, I end up with a lot more exfoliants in that. So yeah, I haven't used this one enough. I'm currently using an exfoliating cleanser. So I've used it a couple of times, but not enough to have a solid opinion on. Same with the Ole Henriksen Oil Control Toner. I bought that because my beloved Belief Hydra Sebum Control Essence has been discontinued. And I wanted a new oil control product. But then Erin had a Hydra Sebum Oil Control Essence and she went on, she's on a prescription retinol, so she doesn't need that, so she gave it back to me. And I'm still going through my bottle because skincare has not been a priority this last year, unlike it has been for everyone else. So I still have plenty of that, so I haven't used this enough to know if it's oil controlling, what it does. It's also a BHA, and I have other BHA toners I'm using, so there is that. We have the Bumble and Bumble Thickening Shampoo and the Living Proof Triple Detox Clarifying Shampoo. I bought these to get my beauty lip box, I remember. I've used up the Bumble and Bubble Thickening Shampoo. It's nice, but I've never found a shampoo that I'm like, yes, I need to repurchase this. My hair loved it. So I've currently got a Davro one, and then I have, in a haul that's coming soon, I purchased a new IGK one for when that finishes up, but it was nice, but it's not something I'm like, yes, my hair needs this, which is basically how I am with most shampoos. And then the Living Proof one, it's really nice. It's super clarifying. I really like it every kind of once a month, really, with how little product I've been using in my hair. I really like it as a deep clean. The packaging is not fantastic though. The cap broke off because you have to be very specific about how you push on the cap to close it properly, and it's just, don't love the packaging. I like the shampoo though. I like the packaging more than the Briogeo shampoo though, but I think I like the Briogeo shampoo more, so I put up with the packaging more. I don't know. But that's it. I don't know if this is 1 part or 2. You will have realised if this says part 2 or part 1, or doesn't say either of those things. This bit wouldn't say part 2, this would say part 1. But those are the products I purchased in the first half of 2021. As I said, I've had to break the second half of 2021 up into 3 parts because that's when lockdown really made me crazy and made me buy a lot of things. Yeah, so if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Let me know if you've tried any of these products, what your thoughts are on them, and click subscribe to stay tuned for more videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.